Hello and welcome to another episode of Escapades Player Review Session. My name is Suryansh and delighted to be joined today by Akshat and Anand. Lads, I'll say this in advance. We're going to miss this episode for sure, but I'm sure we're going to get a lot of insightful thoughts from Anand as well. So let's not waste any time and let's dive right in. Hits of Game Week 24. So each of us are going to select a couple of players who we think did remarkably well in the game week that's gone by. And yeah, man, I mean, talk to me, lads. Who are your picks of the game week that's just gone by?
So I'll begin here and I'll start talking about Martinez. A lot of FPL managers, what they did was they were bringing in double game week goalkeepers, be it Nick Pope or Areola from Fulham, and even Ederson from City because there were rumors that he could be on penalty.
He
But
was to the
then,
halfway line, though, Anand. He made us
yeah, oh
excited.
yes, he did. And honestly speaking, KDB is back, but let's see. It's going to be between KDB and Ederson for the next one, whenever they get a penalty. And if KDB is not on the pitch, if Pep is managing his minutes because he's just returned from an injury, then yeah, we might see Ederson again. But yeah, again, the point that I was making is that managers were getting in these double game week goalkeepers because they had two matches in game week 24, but Martinez didn't require two matches, just one match for him and gave 12 points. I mean, that's huge. So I was one of those managers who got in Nick Pope, thinking that Nick Pope over the course of two game weeks will outscore Martinez, but Martinez had Super Emmy, Martinez had different plans, and he has been on my he has been on my bench for the last two game weeks, and he has returned a total of 21 points because I put my faith on Nick Pope. But yeah, again, it is kind of like, it's kind of cheating if you have Martinez and still not playing. You're cheating with Martinez. But yeah, what a signing he has been for Villa this season and just stunning. Highest FPL, point holder for a goalkeeper this season. And stunning, just a stunning signing for Villa. Has already kept 12 clean sheets. So whatever Villa is doing up front, because of Grealish and Watkins or Traores or Barkley's, but this guy at the back is holding them together. He has been amazing, just a phenomenal signing for Villa this season, and rightly so. As we can see, he's top of the chart for goalkeepers this season in terms of SPL points.
Absolutely, and let's not forget that iconic line that he said that a move to Villa has been an upgrade in his career. He's just shown us why. I mean, kept clean sheets in 50% of the games they've played this season in the Premier League, which is quite remarkable to be honest. And I was lucky enough to have him in my team, and over the course of this FPL season, I've learned to have a little faith on the Villa defense. Their record, um, is something to take a very serious note of. I mean, this is something that is not 5 or 6 game weeks that they've been performing well. It's almost three-fourths of
Uh,
the season now.
Yeah, and having 9 saves in a match is a no small thing. I mean, what a
And
performance
good
from this
saves.
guy!
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I have kept him, I think, from game week 3, and I've never felt like changing Martinez. I just changed him for a blank game week for Aston Villa when I brought in Patricio, but otherwise, it's Martinez for me all the way. So,
Absolutely.
Suryansh, what are your picks for game week 24?
Okay, so this week I've gone in for two highest scoring players of this game week. Both of them scored 20 points, but I'll start off with the less conventional one. It's Ola Aina, if I pronounce it correctly, the Fulham player. And what more do you want from a defender who's priced at 4.5, has a ownership of less than a percent, when he gives you 20 points over a double game week? He scored, he assisted, kept a clean sheet, and kind of performance I guess Fulham need from a lot of their players if they are to stay in the Premier League. Uh, so yeah, I mean, even the next fixture is against Sheffield, so I I was seriously thinking about replacing Stones with Aina, just to free up some funds for me. Since Kane is back, so I'm trying to figure out a way to bring Kane back in. So yeah, I mean, Aina has 20 points, highest scorer, joint top scorer this game week. And yeah, I mean, with the fixture and the assist goal, a couple of goals. To be fair, we've not, and I was not expecting a Fulham player to feature on our review session, but here we are. Uh, so happy for the geniuses that have this lad playing this game week. But yeah, a performance worthy of notice in terms of FPL, and can be a very good GP option, man. I mean, uh, yeah, that's about it, man. And I mean, a serious contender for me to be in my backline this game week, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a
It
good
is.
choice
It is like a.
because because of one thing is obviously the ownership, and the other thing is the way Fulham played against Everton. I think it was a good match actually to watch as well, and it was an upset for Everton. So let's see where Fulham moves on from here.
To be honest, I've been really jam-packed this game week, this week. I've not had the time to, sit down, watch games, even the highlights. So I'll be sure to watch out, watch Fulham highlights and keep a special eye on this lad. And let's see if, this transfer materializes. I'll keep this one as a secret.
Yeah, Scott Parker has done a decent job with this Fulham team. They're at least playing good football. They might be losing a match here and there, but they're playing really decent attacking football. And with the signing of Maja up front, they have more options up front, and that just enables or unlocks Aina even more because they will have more people to support them when Aina is making a run from the flanks. So yeah, really decent. You want a player to look out for, and also the next couple of fixtures are not so difficult. So the managers can really cash in and get him in their team at least for the next couple of fixtures.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so, what's your second pick, Suryan? I
All
think
right.
he
So
is your
I'm
favorite player in the Premier League.
to be honest, I really, really like this player. He's had a safe to say a very torrid first half of the season, as we know Arsenal as a team. But this game week, he's proved the haters wrong, man. I mean, uh, haters a strong word, but the critics wrong. That he's not finished. He's in a good. Arsenal have been playing some decent football of it. Arteta has been getting some good results, and scoring a hat trick. I'm pretty surprised to read that this was his first hat trick for Arsenal. I mean, with the kind of goal scoring form he's been in the last two seasons, I was really shocked. 8 goals now, one assist. I expect him to move, uh, forward with the numbers, especially with him hitting the patch. And yeah, versus Man City, the next fixture, tough fixture. But kind of Aubameyang was looking in the mood, if and when Aubameyang looks in the mood, he generally a happy Aubameyang is a player who scores very regularly, I feel. And after a very long time, I could see that in his performance, in the Arsenal performance in general. Though they conceded 2 goals, and I'm sure they would have been buried for a while, but yeah, man, good from a neutral's perspective and FPL perspective. It's great to have Aubameyang back in the mix, and with the likes of, I won't say um, low scoring seasons like Salah. We were expecting, okay, not Salah, but Sterling. I'd like to put Sterling in that bracket. If Aubameyang gets going, it's just another asset, and even like the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. I won't be surprised a lot of people jumping board from Kevin De Bruyne since Gundogan is the new star guy, and if Arsenal fires, I think that's a very good shout, a very good shout to move from KDB to Aubameyang. But I'd like to give that a couple of weeks. I'd like to see if this Aubameyang performance was not a one-off. I'm pretty sure it was not a classy striker.
Yeah, man,
So yeah, man.
I absolutely loved the penalty that he took. I mean, it was a sure shot goal, and with such confidence,
You're talking
sending the
about the goal
keeper.
of the goal of the month.
No, I'm talking about this one. No, but I really enjoyed his
Yeah.
football. He was actually, you could see he was very happy to be back in form, and I think that positive attitude made him score a hat trick.
So moving forward, these are and I mentioned earlier in the pod the second joint top scorer this game week. So I went safe this game week. Chose two players who returned the highest. Didn't put in a lot of homework. I left that to Anand since he was joining us today. So yeah, I noticed Akshit's not told us his pick. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, please
So
enlighten us with your pick.
yeah, so the first player that I have chosen, I think he is a consistent player, a consistent performer for the quite a few game weeks, and it's Cresswell. I mean, though he has no goals, but the kind of assists and the defending that this guy is doing, I think for me, he is the star defender this season so far. Only Dean and Shaw have better goal creation action per 90 minutes than Cresswell. He has the highest number of assists for a defender, and with that, I think with him being on the set piece duties, and West Ham is scoring a lot of goals in the current form that they are. So I think he's a very nice pick to keep in your FPL side, because
Really sorry to interrupt, Akshat. Is he the highest scoring defender you said, right?
uh,
In FPL this season? If I'm
no,
not
no,
wrong, he is, right?
he had the highest assist for a defender.
Okay, okay. But I
Also,
won't
he
be
is the
surprised.
highest scoring FPL defender.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
noticed the ownership in reference to this is pretty low, man. I mean, 26.5% for somebody who's been the highest scoring defender is. But like Amit
Because
said, last game week, for a lot of managers, this was the game week that, farewell game week for a lot of West Ham assets. Yeah, go on, Akshat.
yeah. No, but I think Moyes did turn around this team defensively and attackingly both, because in the back they are keeping clean sheets, and in the front their guys are scoring goals as well. So I think uh, next fixture is against Tottenham, and Tottenham after the last match, I think they will surely bounce back. So it will be a tough fixture for West Ham, but I think one can keep Cresswell because of his set piece duties, and he is bound to return new points. So yeah, for me it's
Also,
Cresswell
the last
for
time
sure.
Tottenham and West Ham played, it was a 3-3 draw, and Lanzini scored a spectacular goal in
Oh
that
yeah, I
match
remember. What
to
a
make
goal,
it,
man! What a goal!
to make it 3-3.
Yeah,
So yeah, Cresswell, and there was a period where at the start of the season, where after the couple of matches, West Ham had a torrid run of fixtures, but somehow David Moyes and his unit, somehow managed to managed to do pretty well in that period when they were having some really dodgy fixtures. So yeah, I mean, there has after 24 game weeks, the tables are not lying as much as it did at the start of the season, and
Absolutely.
it would be really shocking to see if Cresswell from here on doesn't continue the way he has been doing so far.
yeah, man. Moving on to the second pick, I think this guy had to be on the list. It's Gundogan, because what a form this guy is having. I mean, what a season. After since game week 13, he entered the Premier League like a storm and snowballed his FPL tally to skyrocket returns, because I think only Bruno, Salah, Son, and Grealish have scored more as of now. And in the last 12 matches since game week 13, Gundogan has returned 11 goals and 2 assists in doing so. Uh, so I mean, and also in the absence of KDB, I think he picked up that mantle where KDB left off, and I think attacking wise, he was too good. Even the assist that he gave, I think as of now he is in the form of his life. He's playing like a fox in the box. So we might well see Gundogan return more points when he's fit again. And
Anand, sorry to interrupt again, Akshat. I mean, I'm sorry to keep on doing this to you after every time you take a name. But you lads remember the goal he scored at the Etihad against us? The one where we bounced back in the second half.
yes.
What
When
a
he just turned,
yeah, what
and just placed it.
that was just pure class, man. And
Yeah,
I've
it's
always
pure
liked
class.
the guy, but looking at, I was awestruck by that goal. I mean, I remember watching it at a screening, but still, I was just
Yeah,
what a goal, man.
that was a peach of a goal. He was not facing the goal.
Absolutely.
He was facing towards his goal. He received the ball, made a swift turn, and
So effortless,
that
if
turn
I
was
can
a
call
very
it.
yeah. It was so smooth. He just I don't know what do we call that turn, but yeah, he just
Yeah,
flicked the
man.
ball and he turned quickly, and then that was like really
I'm sure
amazing to see.
a lot of United and City fans remember that match, man. It was crazy.
After his purple patch, I think he just turned around his game. And now even I'm thinking, I removed KDB when he got injured and brought in Gundogan. So now I'm thinking whether should I send
That's
out
right. Yeah.
Gundogan and bring KDB back, or should I just keep on trusting Gundogan? So that's I'm in two minds with that. And one more thing, like I've never seen a defensive midfielder or a box to box midfielder transform this way into a goal scoring machine. I mean, or his passes, his plays, his goals. I think everything is too fabulous. And the run that he made
The
for
way he sat
Ederson
down.
ball. No, the run that he made for that Ederson ball. I mean, it was like seeing a striker making that run and scoring with such a class finish.
And the way he sat down Sanchez,
Ah,
the way he just
Pretty
shoved
oh
his
good.
yeah,
elbow. That was like a cheeky, smart move that he made.
very
He
smart
just
move. Yeah,
made a tiny shove to just disbalance Sanchez, and then by his quick feet, Sanchez was sent back to Amsterdam after that,
yeah.
after whatever he did.
No, I mean, even though he had a purple patch, his NPXG plus XA, I think it's still pretty decent. It may have dropped down, but I think the stats speak for themselves. They are pretty decent and good stats. And at a price of 6.1, uh, he's a cheapie.
Absolutely. Given
He's
other
a
City
cheapy
assets.
essential. Yeah.
Yeah, a cheapie
Yeah, cheap
essential.
essential. So yeah, moving forward from this Manchester player, sadly we don't have a United player that we can cover this week. I'm so sorry, Akshat.
Yeah, that's why I'm
So
wearing
we'll
a
start.
PSG jersey. I'm not wearing a United jersey.
So yeah, we started off with Anand's insight on players, and we'll end with that. So Anand, your final pick, enlighten us. I'm sure it's going to be interesting.
Just before Anand starts speaking, just like last time Amit mentioned about that Bruno goal, even this time I would like to mention that Bruno goal. Uh,
Oh,
just it was too good.
yeah, man.
It was.
Yeah.
The
So
guy's
go
spoiling
ahead.
us.
So go ahead, Anand.
It was a lovely goal. Yeah. The technique was really good. So yeah, talking about my pick is Lowton. What a goal, man! He just smashed that ball and like tore that net. I guess.
He
Yeah,
surprised
it was a
himself.
spectacular. He just scored a spectacular goal. I mean, this guy. Um, so I think a lot of FPL managers went for me and Tarkovsky, and a lot of FPL managers got in Lowton because he was the cheapest of all, and 4.5 million. That's it, and that was probably one of the reasons that a lot of managers went with him. But over the last few game weeks, Sean Dyche is asking a little bit more from his wingbacks. He wants his wingbacks to provide more deliveries for the strikers. But then they were also playing teams that were bottom of the league, sort of. So probably that made sure that Luton could attack more. But he was one of the star of this game week. like your pick as well, who is Aina Suryansh, but Luton at just 4.5, returning with 17 points is like a jackpot lottery that a manager can win. But yeah, with Burnley playing West Brom up next, he still looks like a really juicy pick. And since he's attacking a little bit up front, going a little bit more than his usual self, I feel against West Brom too, he'll continue that bit. Although West Brom looks uh, bit more in shape, so ideally it's like a 0-0 sort of a match. But still, even with 0-0, Luton may end up giving another clean sheet or so. And Ben Mee is back. He had a concussion problem in the last match, and he's back. And Ben Mee is a huge presence. Since the time he has come back from his injuries, we've seen Burnley record a lot of clean sheets, and then so Luton playing in alongside that wall, that Trinity wall of Tarkowski, me, and Nick Pope. I think FPL managers can well expect more returns from him in the game weeks coming forward. So yeah, he was the pick for me for this game week. And
I would like to add something to that, Anand. I was looking at the returns he gave this season. I was studying his basically how his season's been, and I noticed something that his absence from the team in the start of the season, Burnley they did not have a very good start of the season defensively. But since the time he's come into the team, if I'm not wrong, it's from game week 5 or 6. I might be wrong, but since the time he's come into
you're
the team,
correct.
they're back. They look like Sean Dyche's Burnley, and
Yeah.
not putting it down entirely to this guy's defensive masterclass, but it's no coincidence, with the star players coming back in, and like you said, the Holy Trinity, and Loughton can be a beautiful pick for, like you said, a differential, and a lot of differential defenders this season, man. Target, Loughton, Aina, a lot of players
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
choose from. With that note, this has been us for Game Week 24. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Write to us if anything you want us to discuss. If anything you want Anand to, clear doubts, his insightful thoughts. And till Game Week 25, lads, take care. May the arrows be green, and we'll be sure to see you next week. Cheers, lads.
Yes.
Cheers, boys.